Hello, Nicole Hanchi here, and in this video, I am going to share with you 3 characteristics that you must cultivate on your journey as an entrepreneur, as a home business owner, as an online marketer, network marketer, affiliate marketer. These are 3 characteristics. Notice that I'm using the word cultivate instead of have, because these are things that pretty much very few, if any, have when they come into this industry, into this space. And so I was reading an article this weekend, and it was actually about the 3 characteristics that PhD students, the doctoral students, need to be successful. And I was just like, oh, it's spot on, because really this process that we're in, it's a journey, it's a mastery process. And along the way, we are seeking to master certain things as we go. So you have to master, you have to share that out, you have to get really good at things in order to become successful. And it's the same thing in a doctoral program. And the article just really hit home and resonated with me. And I thought so much of it actually applies to what we do in this space. And I wanted to share it with you. I put together a PowerPoint, and the reason why is I actually want you to be able to copy these things down. I want you to take screenshots, whatever you can do to capture this, and take it back and really let it simmer for you, really let it sink in, and realize certain things along the way. I think this is going to be really powerful. So give me a second and let me get my PowerPoint to you. Okay, so hopefully now you can see my PowerPoint. 3 characteristics that you must cultivate. The important thing that I want you to realize in this is that you do not have to have these things coming in. You just have to be willing and open to the process of cultivating them. And that to me is so powerful, because it's why people give up. It's why they fail. It's why they don't succeed. And I don't want that for you. I want you, if you're watching this, I want you to have success. I want you to push your way through this process and come out on the other side and have your success and see your results and realize everything that you've worked so hard for. So let's take a look at the first one. The first one is perseverance. And I'm going to read some of these chunks to you. I kind of pulled out what I thought were the most relevant things. Perseverance. You have to be willing to fail from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment your head hits the pillow. I think this is absolutely the scariest part of the process, and this is probably one of the bigger reasons why people quit, why they do fail. You must be willing to fail for days on end, for months on end, and maybe even years. You have to be in it for the long haul. You have to commit yourself and open yourself up to the process of failing forward and failing fast, because the faster you fail, you can't avoid it. If you're trying to avoid it, then you're most likely sitting there paralyzed and really not taking any action, because you really do have to be willing to just kind of throw it all out there and know that it could fail, and be okay with that and pick yourself back up and try it again. This is a skill. And you notice here that the language that's used, it's a trauma, and it is. I mean, none of us are impervious to the pain of failure. It hurts. It's not a great feeling. But if you develop and cultivate the ability to persevere through that and to take your failure and say, okay, great, this is one step closer to my success. I'm just going to take this and tweak it a little bit and try it again. Then you are on your way. You have to be able to really sit and think through, like it says, plausible solutions, and do a good risk analysis and kind of estimate the likelihood that the approach will work. But you cannot sit in paralysis. You can't do it, wait until it's perfect before you put it out there. You literally have to throw it out there and see what happens, and be willing to fail, tweak, go again, fail, tweak, go again. So open your mind to that process. In this next piece, it says, if you persevere to the end of this phase, your mind will intuit solutions to problems in ways that you could never have imagined before. You won't know how your mind does this, it just will. And I'm telling you right now that this is the truth. You may be sitting there thinking, I can't figure this out. I don't know why I can't succeed. I don't know why I'm failing. your mind will figure this out. If you open yourself up to learning, if you open yourself up to the process, putting yourself out there in ways that you never thought possible, your mind will do this for you. I guarantee it. I promise. The PhD demands perseverance, just like having your own business does. In the face of uncertainty, in the face of rejection, in the face of frustration. You will be working in these three phases constantly. We work with uncertainty, rejection, frustration. It is part of what we do. You have to become okay with that. You have to learn to be okay with uncertainty, to feel it and push through. You have to be okay with rejection. People are going to tell you no. People are not going to, you're going to feel like people aren't paying attention to you. You've got to press forward anyway and have faith in yourself and believe in yourself and know that if you just take consistent action, it will come together. And frustration, oh my gosh, lots of frustration, right? But you have to embrace it as a learning process, right? If you're feeling frustrated, then you're growing, and you have to remind yourself of that. And you've got to kind of switch and turn that emotion of frustration around, give it a 180 and say, okay, yep, I've hit a wall, or I'm struggling with something. I'm learning. This is me learning and growing and breaking through barriers and expanding into places that I never thought possible. And my mind is coming up with solutions that I never thought possible, right? Okay? I hope you guys are seeing the power of this. I hope this is pumping you up and inspiring you. The next of the three characteristics is cogency. A lot of this is about how we put ourselves out there, and this is really important too. And I think very few, if any, people come into online marketing or network marketing or whichever aspect you're in, knowing exactly how to do this. You know, you have to be open to learning how, because this is an art of persuasion. That's what marketing is. You have to be able to convince people that what you have, the solutions that you have, are meaningful and legitimate. And you have to know how to do that quickly, because if it takes too long for people to realize that what you have is meaningful and valuable, they're moving on, right? So you've got to be swift. You've got to put yourself out there and tell people what you have, what you know, with enthusiasm, or people are not going to listen to you. You've got to do it in a way that they're going to sit there and want more. You know, you've got to be enthusiastic, and you have to show and prove your value and your worth and your solutions. And you have to write in a way that's compelling. You want them to take a snippet of what you have, maybe the little lead piece, and want more, and feel like saying, okay, I'm going to invest a little bit of time in this today because I think this person has something of value to share with me. And so that's critically important to getting your message out there. If you're not spending the time to learn how to put yourself out there, whether in writing or on video, I also think that you can apply a lot of what this piece is talking about in video, because it talks about, you know, putting yourself out there. Well, how else are you going to do that? How else are you going to convey your energy if you're not willing to get in front of people? It talks about giving conference talks here in this, but video for us is the way that we can best convey what we've got, you know, to share. So you've got to break through. If you're afraid of making videos, you've got to get over that, because in the next couple of years, over 80% of all marketing is going to be video. So you don't want to get left behind. Trust me. If you want to be in the top percent of earners and leaders in this space, you've got to be able to put yourself out there on a video. Plain and simple. It's just the truth. Chase is helping me today with our with our talk. And I put some stars here because I want to drive this piece home. Generally, grad students do not arrive in school with the ability to communicate well. This is something they learn, right? So it's okay if you're sitting there thinking, well, I can't write well, I don't speak well, I don't feel comfortable in front of a video. It's okay. Most people don't. You're not alone. That doesn't mean that this isn't for you. That means that you need to open yourself up to the process of learning, right? Okay, so hopefully this is hitting home for you, cogency. I'm going to move into the last one, tenacity. Like I said in the last slide, you have to put yourself out there, right? To become a leader in this space, to become a master, you have to show people that you have something, some solution to a relevant problem. It can't just be a random problem. It's got to be a relevant problem, right? A problem that people need a solution to. And it can't just be one thing. You know, this is a fast-paced industry. Things are always changing. You have to keep up. You have to be constantly figuring out what the problems are, learning how to solve them, and putting that solution out there. It is a process. You just can't throw something together and put it out there and sit back on your laurels and expect people to flock to you forever and ever. It doesn't work that way. You have to constantly be out there. You have to know what the issues are, and you have to be putting solutions together on an ongoing basis, right? And it says here in this next point, as you exit graduate school, and art connecting your results should emerge, proving to faculties that your research has a profitable path forward. And the way to apply this to what we do is you've got to connect the dots between the solutions that you come up with, right? So as you're putting together maybe your information products or your coaching packages or whatever it is that you're doing, you got to connect the dots there for people. You have to show people why you have a full one-stop shop for them, full solutions, and that what you have to share with them is going to lead them down a profitable path, because that is why we're here, right? We're all here to help each other, but we all have bills to pay, and you know, there's no shame in that. We all need something profitable. We are all looking for ways to make money online. You have to show people that what you have leads them down a profitable path forward. The next piece, you also have to actively and aggressively forge relationships with scholars in your field. And what this is huge, because I think people don't realize the importance of colleagues. Right? People are so focused on scrambling for mentors and people to follow them that they completely forget about colleagues. And colleagues are hugely important. If you pop over to my YouTube page, or if you're on my YouTube page, there's actually a video that I put together a while back about the 3 kinds of people that you've got to have around you. And I talk in that video about not only needing a mentor, not only needing people to follow you, but needing people to run beside you, colleagues, right? That you can pass the baton back and forth. Those people will become your champions, right? Those people will help you rise up. They'll point people over to you. They'll partner with you. These people are critical in your business. So you have to spend the time forging relationships with people, with colleagues in your field. And you have to let them know what you're doing, right? And they've got to be excited about it too, or else you really don't have anything. Because if your peers aren't excited about it, then what you have is not relevant. And at the bottom there, it says none of this is going to happen on its own. It's just not. It's up to you to put yourself out there. And I know that for some it's so scary, and there's that fear of failure creeping on, or what are people going to think? Put it aside, push it aside, be tenacious, find it inside of you somewhere, and put yourself out there, right? Because that's the only way you're going to know if what you have is of value and is going to lead you down a profitable path, right? And your peers and your followers will tell you, right? So that's why you got to put small chunks out there, small chunks. And over time, you'll start to see what resonates and what doesn't. And that's how you're going to know which direction to go with your efforts, right? Okay. I also want to share this. This is the link. I want to give credit where it's due and cite the article that I used today. Again, take this information and spin it back to what you're doing. It is so applicable. Let me go ahead and stop my screen sharing so that you can see my face while I'm talking to you. Hopefully I did that. All right, hopefully, yeah, there I am. So I hope that you found that this was powerful and helpful, and that it resonated with you as much as it resonates with me. And maybe it resonates with me more because I've been through the process. I was a doctoral student. I know the devastation of failure through that process, and pouring your heart and soul into something and having to go back and completely change it, or whatever. It is a process. You will survive. You just have to open yourself up to it, right? Again, Nicole Hanchi here. I hope you found value. If so, if you're on my fan page, give a comment below to let me know. Or if you're on my YouTube page, give a comment to let me know. And pop on over. I want to share with you, I've got some buzz going on in my community. Some cool new things are going to be happening over there. I'm going to be starting some trainings that I'm going to be sharing exclusively with that community. Social Media Marketers United. Nicole Hanchi's Social Media Marketers United. Come on over. I'll include the link down below for you to just click through and just request access. I'd love to have you in there. I'd love to share all that I know with you and help you along to experience the success and results that I have experienced. So here's to your success. Have a great day. Take care.